Hey everyone, Aladdin's Castle here, and today I am bringing you guys a new video series. For those who have been following my socials recently, you might have seen that I am part of the NRG Gaming Casting Team for Lorcana, where we host weekly tournaments every Monday in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. We have a team of casters and soon to be some really awesome remote casters who analyze and commentate some games. So I'm going to be copying over some files from time to time and get some footage of our local gameplay for you all. And I hope you guys find it educational, entertaining, and something I always wanted to bring to this channel. So in today's video, we have two solid players from the Chicagoland area who are both playing decks you'll definitely see at your locals and set champs. Julien playing Steel Songs and Ed playing Amethyst Steel. We are featuring Game 1, which had a lot of great interactions back and forth, some pretty crazy character flips off Daisy, and even highlights some of that Labubu action for you. Yes, I said it, those darn Labubus. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Hi, we are back again at Buffalo Grove at Nerd Rage Gaming for our local Lorcanas. We are in round 3.
Yeah, which might be our last round of the night. We'll double check with that. But we do have a new color combination that we'll be seeing real soon. We got two players, one of them being Julien and the other one being Ed, which we saw briefly earlier in the rounds. Ed was playing Amethyst Steel, and I believe Julien is running an Amber Steel variant. So another deck that kind of came back from the last couple sets. And I think it's because of the rise of the Diablo and the evasives. Songs kind of came back a little bit to deal with that, and we're going to see how that plays out with the purple steel matchup against Ed.
Yep. And when you have not quite so, I mean, we saw a lot of item builds, but when you have more characters, not just Hiram and items, you got more stuff to use these songs on as well.
Yeah, so they are starting off here with the mulligan, checking out to see what they have to start off with. And we'll see who started with the dice roll. But you have the powerful plays of Cinderella turn 1, which could sing songs early. And there's also the Daisy route 2, which you could go pretty aggressive. So
Yep. And then it also looks, put the Daisy back. We got some songs coming. Oh, 3
yeah,
songs.
that's what you like to see with
All
the Amber
uninkable
Steel.
though.
A lot of uninkables there for sure, but you could draw out of the Cinderella with the Storm
Yep.
for some extra draw power. So we'll see how it starts off. Not sure who's starting off, but maybe Julien.
We'll have to wait and see. I think no matter what, you want that one drop. And then obviously Ed, we have Amethyst Steel.
And it's not just Ed, it's Ed Labubu Ed. He is the mascot of the Lords of Lore.
Yes.
Labubu is a fashion trend that's been going on since about a year or two or so. It's these like little scary creatures. He has one
Scary.
hanging. Some people think it's scary, but it's cute also. Scary slash cute, if that exists in the world, which it does. So it's a fun little toy action thingy that he has going on here.
And this Labubu is rocking a Lords of Lore shirt. One of a kind so far. He's got his Lorcana iconic swag going on, which we love.
Okay.
Good luck, supportive. We do see Cinderella going down. We know Julien's got a lot of songs. 2 songs, I believe, at least, that Cinderella can sing. Excuse me. We have Ed having its magic broom.
Gonna start to ink. I don't know if you play Snake. That'd be a cool little play here just to kind of bounce back the broom for the snake so it doesn't get hit by the storm. But maybe he might be playing a character to banish with broom. So he's kind of deciding what to do here.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some bounce. He has that Jafar. He is gonna ink the Jafar. That again, he can discard to draw, and exactly what you
And
said.
he does have the snake. There you go. Which is great against the Amber Steel. That's classic to kind of avoid the storm coming down here through Cinderella.
Yep. So if Cinderella does sing that storm, it's only going to do 2 damage to the snake, and then the snake can knock Cinderella out if Ed wants. Otherwise, if Julien quests or does anything else with this Cinderella, same thing's going to happen. So Julien is just going to say, you know what? Actually, I have 2 songs potentially that I can sing next round if they stick. So why don't I just wait?
Yeah, he opted playing the Troubadour, which is one of the newer cards for
Mm-hmm.
Amber Steel, which is a great addition. It is a very similar singer function to Ursula back in the day,
Yep.
but the Troubadour is going to get that +1 resist as well. And it being a 1/3, it's really hard to get off the board there. So, and it also sings 4, just like how Ursula did as well.
Yep. Especially if you're not playing into red, which we see that we're not. You know that you don't have to worry about that brawl coming out. You don't have to worry about that little Shisu. So you know your singers might potentially stick a little bit. We do see that Ed has the snake. He's going to quest because, you know, what's really threatening on this board apart from songs. So might as well tap. And then we do have that Calhoun. So I love Calhoun in this deck because, you know, you see it right here. If Julien does sing, with either of these, Calhoun is going to be able to challenge them and then get that 2 lore and is not even going to take any damage with that resist on there. And so Ed is really able to put a lot of pressure and still get some lore pressure as well.
The downside of here is that Julian's probably going to play a character and sing Strength to get rid of that
Mm-hmm.
Calhoun with Cinderella. So you have to look out for that too as well. But he's still thinking about what to ink because there are a lot of uninkables in his hand, trying to see if he could play a character in the first place. Inking the Pete there,
Yep.
playing a
Playing the
Daisy. Yep.
Daisy.
Singing the Strength there. Yep. Take out the Calhoun.
Yep. And then we're gonna take out.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Okay.
I was just gonna say. So there's a question there. I did see. Um, what is that card called again?
That is
Zeus.
Zeus. Yep.
Zeus. I did see that. I was wondering if he was gonna use it on the Calhoun, but instead he says, you know what? I'm gonna take both of your creatures out. Keep both of my singers on the board. That's tough. That's
That
tough.
is tough. Yeah.
That's a tough
So
start.
wonder if he has a Fox here to bounce it back.
He
Take out
does.
the I don't know, singer maybe? The troubadour?
Yeah, I mean, I think singing 4, you always want to take out a higher singer. I don't know if Julien plays the shift Cinderella. That's always a potential with the smaller Cinderella. That's the steel resist 5/5. Once that's on the board, it's really hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
But you know, Cinderella can't sing Zeus. More limited in what she's able to sing, but she is able to.
Sing the other storm that
Yep,
was in his hand, drawing to the whole new
whole new
world.
world.
So he does play. This is more of a traditional songs deck. I think he was used to playing the Diggy Dig last format, so maybe he
Yes.
switched on to the more traditional song package here with Daisy.
Yep.
So he's going to quest for 2. Daisy's going to trigger. He gets the genie,
Love to see that if I'm
which
Ed.
is great for Ed, yes. Hard to get rid of that besides like a Zeus.
And we already know there's one down. It is hard here. Julien has a whole new world and not a lot of cards, which means, what am I gonna do? Potentially hard cast it. If Ed can get some of these cards down, before that whole new world goes out, that might be really good
Right.
for him as well.
So we'll see how he plays this out. I think he still has a lot of
Oh,
options before he could whole new world. He's going to play
okay.
Bianca because of the allies
Yep.
there, actually. So she costs 2 less if you have an ally out on the field.
And she is able to sing that whole new world next turn.
Right.
But that does mean that Julien is going to skip an ink this turn, which never feels good.
Yeah, that is a little tough there. But you're going to get some lore out of Daisy at least.
Oh, a
Get the crab,
crab.
yep. Which is not what he wanted to see. 2 great top decks from the
Yeah.
Daisy there.
But again, you do know you are gonna whole new world next turn. You have to, I would imagine, unless you play something incredible. And so you say, go ahead, take the character. I'm just gonna whole new world it out of your hand
Right.
anyway. So you're hoping it's not something that can do too much damage. I mean, this crab is gonna mean this genie could take out the daisy. Um, or continue to push. I don't necessarily hate
Fox,
that.
maybe? Yeah, Fox.
Yep.
Take out the Daisy that way.
Yep. It does hurt because, you know, you're pulling cards back into your hand. You think as a purple player, you say, I'm going to pull these back and I'm going to keep them and be able to replay them for that draw. You know, but we do know that Julien has that whole new world, which is going to mean that this genie's going to go potentially this turn. And then here, you're going to ink. Now, do you play your Daisy? Yep, he's going to play, and then he is going to sing, I imagine.
Yep. So taking out 4 cards out of Ed's hand
Yeah.
there, which is rough for him. He's got
Those
some
were...
solid cards there.
Yeah. All right. And drawing back up to 7. I did see Ed pull that Pete, which is really nice against this deck. If he had had it 1 turn sooner, that would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But Julien did also miss the aerial singer early on too as well, but at least he recovered with the Bianca.
Yes. And that's why that Bianca is really nice, because you have a lot of allies. It can sneak out sooner. And then if you're playing some of these other red decks, it is kind of bigger than your other singers. It's a little harder to get rid of. It's a little stickier, which is nice to make sure that you actually can get that whole new world off.
Right.
All right, we see a Pete going down, and then we do see a location. I actually really like this addition in this deck.
It's a 1-cost location, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Neverland?
Neverland, so it's 4 health, does 1 lore, it's 1 cost, but if you have Be Prepared's happening, you can put a couple of those down. Again, red control decks, it's a little harder to get rid of that.
Yep, right. So Ed opting for his own Pete there, just because he drew a whole hand with a whole new world. He's kind of telegraphing all those songs in his hand.
Yep. And what is Bianca's health?
5/5.
5/5, yeah. That's...
So like you said, very sticky, hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do like a crab plus whatever character you have out there to take her out.
Yeah. That Pete is doing work. Oh no, that was his discard. I was like, wow, he's got so many more songs.
He does, right? Yeah, right.
No.
But that is a scary field, though.
Yeah, it is a tough field, and you only have this huge character exerted. You can't really get rid of it. You had the crab. I don't think he has that crab anymore. It is tough. He is going to ink the library. He's going to play a Calhoun. He's going to play... Yep, I mean...
Go wide himself, so might as well.
Yeah. Now, if you're going wide, are you hitting this Bianca?
Still pretty early in the game. I might just start questing, and then waiting for the next turn. If Bianca turns sideways, maybe you could crab the Calhoun and take it out. But yeah, it's tough. But yeah, he's gonna opt to race a little bit here, because it's hard for Amethyst Steel to also deal with a wide board unless they're running swords. So
which I don't think is super popular.
Right, and then no actions for the next turn either way either. So
yep, that's right. So
get as much lore as you can.
You make a great point. Can't sing. She's only 1, lore. He can maybe get a crab next turn, like you said, on that Calhoun, which would be a great trade. Or that Calhoun can hit into this Cinderella, this Pete. If, that would be a trade, which would be not ideal, but at least get some lore.
Yeah. So the ink over here for Julien, he's inking that because there's no really high strength characters. It's really good against a blue-red matchup, but not this necessarily.
Yep.
So at least it's easy ink here that he's thinking about, and he does have another whole new world in his hand.
I did see. I think he has 2. Nope, he has a Zeus.
But you have the Lawrence. Lawrence is pretty good there. A really solid body. He's gonna get the aerial to look at the top 4 for the storm.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, we see 2 of those. Great Mouse Detective. World's Greatest Criminal? Is that what it's
World's
called?
Greatest Criminal Mind,
yeah.
Yep.
And again, those 5 strength takes him right out. I think
So
this is really...
This board's getting really crazy now because both sides... I mean, Steel could deal with it a little bit better than Amethyst Steel, but Amethyst Steel has trouble dealing with the wide boards here.
Yep. And then this is smart here. He's got 2 singers, so he's not worried about tapping that Bianca. And then he's going to take out some of that board, get a good trade on the Shmi. Bianca's still on there, and then trade in with his Pete, which, again, did his job. We love to see Daisy giving us small drops.
Nothing compared to.
Yeah.
Ed did not like what he saw there, maybe? Who knows?
He saw.
Give him a little tell there, but
I'm not sure if it's another uninkable. I'm not sure if it looked like a genie, but I'm not sure what would make him have
Yeah,
that
it's
face.
the stank face came out.
Yeah, he said, this is not what I want. So we see in chat here, someone says the Steel Amethyst deck needs the legendary Jafar to gain Lord for each card you draw. What do you think about that one? That
It's an
was...
interesting deck, actually. Another local that we play, Abraham, he does play that deck. It's a high roll deck because you got to have the combos. You got to have Jafar, you got to sing with Jafar, and then you could gain 7 lore because you gain lore for each card that you draw.
Mm-hmm,
So it's very interesting. It could steal some games. I don't think it's as consistent as a traditional Amethyst Steel,
mm-hmm.
but it's really, really fun to play, and I think it could catch a lot of people off guard.
Yeah. It's one of those combo decks where, yeah, it's not consistent maybe to go to one of the higher competitive where you're playing 9, 10 matches in a day and you need every match to be a win, but it is fun.
Yeah, and it could definitely take first place in several locals, so
Yep.
it's a super fun deck, and yeah, you'll definitely get on the receiving end because you could sing twice, Whole New World, and
Yep.
you can gain 14 lore, so it's a spicy deck for sure.
Let's go to see Ed just did an incredible play actually. So he had, I'm surprised at his upset face. So he, I believe, played I'm not sure if that genie was already there, but he definitely played 2 strengths.
Yeah, that strength came down and got rid of that Bianca and had the
Yes.
board over there, and then Calhoun traded for that extra lore,
Yep.
so a lot of good moves here from Ed.
That was great to clear the board. He still has good board presence. He can still keep up right now. And then both going to draw a card off this. But he does, you want those singers gone. You know there's big songs coming out. You know this Cinderella can't sing potentially Zeus, can't sing Whole New World.
Yeah, the key is to definitely take away their singers, and it's an uphill battle from there. They have to reestablish those big singers
Yep.
right after the board clear.
And that is the one thing about the songs deck. You really want your singers to stay. All right, what is Ed? Oh, a Shmi. I would
Okay.
love to see that. It's
And just drop
big.
double Smees every day.
Yeah. 2 lore. It's a 3/3. It's 2 ink. All things I like.
So hard casting the Zeus there to get rid of Genie. Nice.
That makes sense. You know he's gonna bounce. He's evasive. He's annoying. He draws a card.
A lot of back and forth here. Both removing each other's
Yeah.
boards back and forth. So, but Ed has a healthy hand size, courtesy of the Whole New World and some of the draw power there. And he is sitting at 7 ink so far.
Yep. What is interesting is this Neverland is sticking around and passively getting Julien 1 lore a
Yeah.
turn. And right now, Ed doesn't really have anything that can just take it out, except maybe a fox.
Yeah, no fox at the moment, and no crabs that we saw that made sense to play. So, yeah, it's the 4 health is really sticky in this meta where there's a lot of 3/3s and such.
Mm-hmm. So we see a lot coming out. This all makes sense. You got your 1-drops that are going to draw you stuff. If there's a Whole New World, you also want to put stuff down. Can't sing it right now. I think the Troubadour is only a 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Let's see. He's gonna tap 3.
Does he have another strength, potentially? He does.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. Yep. And then he can take out this. Yep, absolutely. If the singer is exerted, take
There
it
you
out.
go. So tables have turned kind of back and forth here, with a lot of trades and singing back and forth. Really.
Yeah. I'm still shocked by Ed's really upset face.
It could have been a poker face.
Yeah,
'Cause,
maybe it was a trick.
he does like to troll a lot.
Because I don't think Amethyst Steel traditionally plays that many songs. They're not really running not Let It Go. Strength of a Raging. Nope. What is the song? Do I know?
Storm Rage On.
Storm Rage On.
There you go. Yes.
Too many Disney songs.
Well, the songs are very similar, but yes, I think the newer version, yeah, they're just depends. It really depends. Like if you're gonna go heavy on the song package, but strength's definitely in there.
Yep.
And then I don't know if
And
he's running
seen
friends.
3.
He's seen 3 already. Yes.
Strength.
Like courtesy of the Whole New World, so it does
Yeah.
cycle throughout that, and that's the only risk you do is kind of give the steel player more songs to use.
So we see a Lawrence. Lawrence is nice. He is technically a 4/4 until he has damage, and then he's a 0/4. So something's got to either hit him with a song or run into him, and he does a lot of damage back. And then he does quest for 2 for 3 ink only. So a great card there. And then Julian's really contemplating whatever this other card is.
I know it's kind of it's another song. Did he
Yeah.
play Pete last turn? No, right?
No, he did
Okay.
not, because he hit the Cinderella. I
Yeah,
see.
Zeus. Okay.
Hard casting the Zeus, questing, popping.
Oh,
Oh,
the dock.
we love to
Another
see
great top
that.
deck off Daisy.
Yeah. That is the thing about Daisy. I mean, Daisy's good in this deck if you do Whole New World, because all of those characters you're giving people. Oh!
Yo, that's the triple dock.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe that was what the face was about. So we are going to dump the 2. I think this makes sense. You're really not getting a lot else from the dock as far as lore or stats, so you might as well just
Hmm.
drop them and see what else you can play with your extra ink. You also know Julian has 1 card,
Yeah.
so a Whole New World is good for him as it is for you, and you want to put that pressure on.
Yeah, so I would try to build a wide board again.
Yep.
Unless he thinks that Julian's running swords or something, but again, the likelihood you'll see that is very slim.
Yeah, definitely Swords is kind of out of style. That Tinkerbell that does damage to everything is out of style, so you're a little safer to put. But maybe we'll see more of it as this Amethyst kind of style of just all of these kind of 1-drops.
So he's gonna take out the Daisy. Daisy's
Yep.
been chilling there for a while.
I think Ed's really saying, all right, I'm ready for you to not gain any more lore. You got 1 card in hand. I don't need more. I can draw. I'm gonna drop my guys down. Did ink in the wrong way, but the math was the same.
Okay.
And again, this location is doing work for Julien. It's really hard. Like, it's only 1, so it doesn't really feel, I think,
Yeah, it's
worse.
very like the threatening of that one lore isn't so big in the beginning, but once it stays, it just adds on so much throughout the game. And if you don't deal with it, it's just gonna get 4 or 5 lore like it just did in this game.
Yep. And then you gotta kind of, at some point decide, am I gonna get rid of it?
Yeah,
All right, so I think Julien has a Daisy and a Whole New World. I think that's what's in his hand.
that is rough. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, he did so good. He played 2 singers that one round. He played another singer, and Ed has just found the cards that he needed to get rid of those singers and make Julien have to spend a lot to get rid of Ed's stuff with these songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is not what you ever want to do when you're playing Steel Song. You want to be singing.
Yeah, he's at 7 ink for Julien.
Yeah. Whole New World Daisy. I think he's thinking, what am I looking for? I mean, what do you do here? I think Oh, he plays the Daisy, he's questing, and he's passing. Okay,
Might
interesting.
wait for another turn there.
So he says, I think he's saying, I have win on the board. I'm putting pressure. You gotta get rid of definitely my Lawrence.
Yep.
Maybe
So he's
my
gonna
location. Pop.
maybe look for some crabs or foxes.
Yep. He does have enough. He could trade the Pete and the Doc. Still put some quest pressure on. Again, I think the thing I'm worried about if I'm Ed, I've spent 3 of my strengths. I don't necessarily play other songs, and I'm gonna have to, if I don't get rid of a lot of this, keep Julien from gaining lore.
Right. Yeah, and he did ink a Cobra at the beginning of the
Yes.
game, so that would have, I think, got him to enough lore there. But yeah, he looks like he's gonna trade.
He has to definitely take out one of these. And he does trade the Pete. He's got to take that Pete off the board. Oh, no, actually, I'm wrong. They're right. He hits with the Doc, trades with the Doc, and then with the Pete, the Lawrence is now, because it has damage,
Right.
at 0.
0. Yep. So good trade there. And Ed's going to go wide here, dump in the hand and play the dock.
Nice. Oh,
Eding's got, I think, the flower that kind of gets the lure.
yep. White Rose.
White Rose. And he's just going to quest, put the pressure onto Julien, which may be tough. Not too many cards gain instant lure
I don't think so.
in that color combo.
No, I mean, unless you have a flute, which is I have not seen yet get back into Steel Song. It is great. I mean,
there's a Wreck-It Ralph, which is very
Yes.
spicy. I know Hans likes to play that card too as well, so that gains
bring
lore.
a princess back.
So he's going to try to get as much stuff off the board, and yep,
Yeah,
couldn't make it there. Like, that was kind of
tough.
went toe-to-toe.
And it's hard there. I think, you know, to Julien's credit, he has the whole new world. He knows that if he plays it, Ed's going to get 7 cards. Maybe he gets that Cobra. Maybe he gets more little guys if Julien doesn't have something that can go wide and do a lot of damage, like we've been saying. It's going to be hard to deal with it. So you're almost like, what's the point in playing? It's gonna help my opponent more than it's gonna help me, and I'm not gonna be able to play any of these characters I draw down anyway.
Yeah, and these are 2 great matches to kind of witness the back and forth of what songs could do to each other, especially with Amethyst Steel singing songs, and you still have Strength and Storm on the other side for Amethyst Steel, and a lot of trades going back and forth, so it really could have gone either way. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay. A lot of back and forth action there. I got some more videos coming out soon. We have a huge announcement coming from Disney Lorcana next week. Hopefully some event updates, and it seems like reveal season is right around the corner, so things are going to be ramping up rather quickly. So stay tuned for all those announcements and make sure you are subscribed. I am on my way to 1,000 subs, hashtag Aladdin1K in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.